My name is Thomas. I'm not a writer. I'm not someone who believes in ghosts either. At least, I didn't used to. I live alone. A small house just outside the city. Nothing special. One bedroom, one hallway, and a basement I never really used. I chose this place because it was quiet. After my divorce, silence felt safer than people. No neighbors close enough to hear me. No noise. Just me. That night, I was completely home alone. No TV, no music, just the sound of the clock in the kitchen. Ticking. Slow and steady. Around 11:47 p.m., I heard something. A sound. Coming from upstairs. Not loud. Not sudden. It sounded like someone shifting their weight on the floor. I froze, because I don't have an upstairs. My house is a single floor. I told myself it was the wood settling. Old houses do that. I stood up anyway, just to be sure. The hallway light flickered as I stepped into it, and that's when I felt it. That feeling, like you're being watched. Not imagined, not anxiety, the kind of feeling that makes your skin tighten. I checked every room, bedroom, bathroom, closet, empty. I laughed quietly, more to convince myself than anything else. Then I heard it again, this time from behind me. A slow breath, too close. I turned around so fast I nearly fell. Nothing was there, but the air felt wrong, heavy, cold. The clock stopped ticking. That's when I realized the house was completely silent. No wind, no distant cars, just me and something else. I backed into the living room, my eyes never leaving the hallway. And that's when I saw it. A wet footprint right on the carpet. Then another, leading from the hallway straight towards me. My legs locked. The footprint stopped a few feet away, and then something whispered my name. Not loudly, not aggressively, just Thomas. It sounded tired, old, like it had said my name before. I ran to the kitchen and grabbed a knife. I don't even remember doing it. When I turned back, the footprints were gone, but the smell wasn't. A deep, earthy smell, like damp soil, like a grave after rain. I locked myself in the bedroom and sat on the bed, knife shaking in my hand. Minutes passed, maybe longer. Then I heard scratching. Not on the door, under the bed. Slow, deliberate, like nails dragging across wood. I whispered, "Who's there?" The scratching stopped. Then a voice answered, from under the bed.
"You're finally home."
I screamed and ran, out of the bedroom, down the hallway, and straight into the mirror near the front door. That's when I saw it. Not behind me, not under the bed, but inside the reflection. A figure, standing where I was. Same height, same shape, same face, except the eyes were wrong. Too dark, too empty. It smiled, but I didn't, because I wasn't smiling. I blinked. The reflection didn't. That's when it spoke.
"You don't remember dying here, do you?"
My head started to pound. Images flashed through my mind. Police lights, blood on the floor, my own body being carried out of this house. I dropped the knife. My hands passed straight through it. The reflection stepped closer, and finally, I remembered. This wasn't my house. It was the place where I died. And the thing that had been watching me all night wasn't a ghost. It was the house waiting for me to realize that I was never home alone. My name is David. I used to love being home alone. Silence felt peaceful. No footsteps, no voices, just me and my thoughts. That night, I learned silence can lie. It was past 11:30 p.m. when my parents left for a wedding out of town. They wouldn't be back until morning. Before leaving, my mother said the usual line, "Lock the doors, don't open for anyone." I smiled and nodded. I was 21, not a child. The door closed. The house went quiet. Too quiet. I locked every door, checked the windows, turned off most of the lights. Only the living room lamp stayed on. I sat on the couch, scrolling my phone, when I heard it. A soft sound. Not a bang, not a scream. A chair dragging from upstairs. I froze. We lived alone. No pets, no neighbors inside the house. I told myself it was the house settling. Old houses make noise, right? I turned the TV on to distract myself. 5 minutes passed. Then I heard it again. This time, closer. Footsteps. Slow. Careful. Like someone trying not to be heard. My heart started racing. I muted the TV. Silence. Then, a cough. A human cough. Dry. Real. From the hallway. I stood up slowly. "Dad?" I called out. No answer. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight. The hallway was empty, but something felt wrong. The air smelled metallic, like rust or blood. I checked the front door, still locked. Windows? Locked. My mind screamed one thing: someone was already inside. I backed into the kitchen and grabbed a knife. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped it. That's when I noticed something that made my stomach turn. The basement door. Open. I clearly remembered locking it. From the darkness below, I heard breathing. Not fast, not scared. Calm, enjoying the moment. A man's voice whispered, "David, don't drop the knife." I screamed and ran upstairs. I locked myself in my room and called the police. The operator answered. I whispered everything. She said, "Stay where you are, officers are on the way." Then she paused and asked, "David, are you sure you're alone in your room?" I looked around. My door was locked, my window closed. Then I saw it. My closet door, slightly open, and inside, a man standing upright, smiling. He spoke calmly. "You shouldn't have called them." Before I could scream, he pressed a finger to his lips. "Quiet. They'll ruin everything." He stepped out slowly. Middle-aged, normal clothes, no mask, just a normal man. That scared me more than anything. He told me something that still haunts me. "I've lived in this house longer than you," he explained. "Years ago, he worked with my father during renovations. He never left. He built hidden spaces, crawlways, false walls. He watched us every night. I wasn't going to hurt you," he said softly. "Not tonight." Then he smiled wider. "But you called the police." Sirens echoed outside. His expression changed, disappointed, angry. He rushed toward me, and suddenly the door burst open. Police. He was tackled to the floor. As they dragged him away, he looked at me and said one last thing. "You were never home alone, David. You were just the only one awake." When the officers finally searched the house properly, they found something that made the room go silent. Behind a loose wooden panel near the basement stairs, there was a small hidden space. Inside it, they found an old mobile phone, a small battery-powered camera, and several printed photographs. And one photograph stopped everyone. It showed me, David, standing in the hallway, talking calmly to the old man. The timestamp on the photo read, 2 months ago. I felt my stomach drop. "That's impossible," I whispered. "I saw him for the first time tonight." The officers exchanged looks. One of them gently said, "No, you didn't." Later that night at the hospital, a doctor explained everything. He told me I was suffering from a condition called dissociative amnesia with dissociative episodes. He explained it simply. When your mind experiences extreme loneliness, stress, or fear, it sometimes protects itself by shutting memories away. During these dissociative episodes, you can talk, walk, and interact with people, but later your conscious mind completely forgets it. I felt cold hearing that. The doctor continued, "You don't remember those moments, but they still happen." That's when the police told me the truth. The old man had been living inside my house for months, not hiding from me, living with me. During my dissociative episodes, I spoke to him. I didn't react with fear. I treated him like he belonged there. Sometimes I even left food out. Sometimes I forgot to lock doors. And every single time, when the episode ended, I forgot everything. The officer looked at me and said quietly, "Because of your condition, he was able to stay here for a long time. You forgot him again and again. But this time," the officer said, "you fought it." For the first time, when I heard breathing behind me, when I felt someone standing too close, I didn't dissociate. I didn't forget. Somehow I stayed in control long enough to call us. If you hadn't, he would still be there. And yesterday, when the police arrested the old man from my house and led him away, he turned his head slowly and smiled at me. Not angry, not scared, almost proud. And that's when the thought hit me harder than anything else. Was he hiding from me, or was I the one helping him hide all along?